What's up, guys? Welcome back to All Wings Everything, and you are back in the kitchen with your boy Spinelli for another delicious and easy recipe, and you're gonna love this one today. I'm gonna show you guys how to make honey buffalo ribs. Yes, don't need no barbecue sauce on this one. Honey buffalo ribs. So I hope you're in your kitchen. I'm already in mine, so let's go. All right, so here are the ingredients we're going to use for today's recipe. So let me tell you what I have here. Right here, I have some pork loin back ribs. They're sliced already. Now you can use any type of ribs you want. You can use St. Louis style ribs, spare ribs, baby back ribs. It doesn't matter. Whatever type of ribs you want to use. But these are the ones I ended up getting right here were the pork loin back ribs. So we're going to use these for this particular recipe. Also, what you want to do is you want to get you some Frank's Red Buffalo Wing Sauce, not the Frank's Red Hot Sauce, but the Buffalo Wing Sauce. Now, you could get Texas Pete Buffalo Wing Sauce, but you want the wing sauce, not the hot sauce. Also, Kosher Salt, using some Apricot Preserves, of course, some honey. You want to use some Low Sodium Soy Sauce. I'm gonna put some black pepper on there. I like to add black pepper. You don't need to add black pepper, or if you don't want to use the salt also, you don't have to, but I like to add some salt and some black pepper to my meats, corn starch. And right here, I'm gonna use some barbecue rub. Now you can use your own, whatever rub you come up with. Some people have their own personal rub they want to use. That's fine. You don't necessarily have to use this barbecue rub. And also, if you just want to just salt and pepper, just use salt and pepper, you can just do that also. But I'm gonna use some barbecue rub. Also, I'm gonna use some hot mustard. Now you can use Dijon mustard if you don't have the hot mustard. And I'm gonna use some dark brown sugar. So these are the ingredients. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. Let me tell you what I have. Right here, I have about 4 pounds of those ribs. I have a tablespoon of salt, tablespoon of pepper, and 2 tablespoons of my seasoning. Now, guys, adjust it the way you want to adjust it. I'm just going to sprinkle it over here like this. Then I'm going to do a little mixing, get it all over my ribs. And all right, let's go ahead and start adding some of that pepper. Like I said, I love to add pepper to my meats. To me, the pepper just brings out the flavor in it. Now, guys, you also could, rub it down. Like, say, if you have some ribs, you could just actually rub it if you want to. But since these are already sliced, I'm doing it this way. I'm gonna have to sprinkle it on it and give it a good mix. All right. So this adds just a little, well, I'm gonna say just a little flavor. This adds some flavor, as you can see. We got all that mixed in. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start adding my barbecue rub. Now, again, this is 1 tablespoon. 2 tablespoons. We may could get away with 1 tablespoon, but we'll see. Maybe that works for you. So let me start off with that's about 1 tablespoon, well, a little bit under 1 tablespoon to me. And the only thing you're trying to do with this seasoning is, just bring out a little flavor in the meat, because of course, you're gonna get that buffalo sauce that's gonna bring out some flavor too. Yeah, I'm gonna use all this. I can see where I'm gonna need it. There we go. Look at that, man. This is starting to look good already. All right, I think that's gonna be enough. So yeah, with 4 pounds, if I was you, I do recommend those measurements, except if you don't like salt. If you want to, lower your salt intake, definitely don't use a tablespoon of salt, or don't use salt at all. Now, guys, take a look at that. Look how well seasoned that is. Oh, goodness. All right, so let's move on to the next step. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to try to fit all these rib slices on this baking sheet. Now, I've already preheated my oven to 400 degrees. Yes, you don't want to skip this step. This is a very important step before you add them to the slow cooker. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add them, skin side down first. If we put them, don't have to worry about having too much spacing in between them. That's not really important, like when we're cooking our chicken wings, because we're not going to fully cook them in the oven. Well, I did underestimate myself. It looks like we're going to be able to do that. So now remember, also put your layer of foil up under that because you want to make sure, yeah, it's just for easy cleanup. You don't want to damage your pan, your baking sheet. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this in the oven for 30 minutes total, 15 minutes on one side. Then we're going to flip them over, put them on 15 minutes on the other side. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. All right, guys, so here we are after 15 minutes. So I'm going to turn these bad babies over and we're going to let them cook on the other side for another 15 minutes. And all we're trying to do, guys, is just get them seared up a little bit before we add them to the cooker. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put them back into the oven for another 15 minutes, and then we're gonna continue with the recipe. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, so while we're waiting on our ribs to be done after the next 15 minutes, let me tell you what we have for our sauce. So I have 3/4 cups of the buffalo sauce, the Frank's buffalo sauce, 3/4 cups of Apricot Preserves. I have a 1/2 cup of honey. I have 1 cup of packed brown sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of that spicy mustard, and 1/4 cups of that low sodium soy sauce. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and start preparing our sauce so it'll be done by the time the wings are complete. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna start dumping all our ingredients in here except the cornstarch. So let's go ahead and start off with our Frank's hot sauce. I mean, not hot sauce, this is the buffalo wing sauce, remember? Our soy sauce, let's add our brown sugar, our Apricot Preserves. Next, add that spicy mustard. And lastly, we're gonna add our honey. All right, so let me get this heat turned up a little bit so we can get it up to temperature. We don't wanna, cook it and boil it. We wanna get it to a low simmer just to get all the ingredients incorporated and combined. All right, so it looks like this coming up to temperature. I'm gonna turn it down because I don't wanna cook it. I just wanted to come up to temperature real quick to a slight boil, not really a boiling temperature. So I'm gonna turn it down and get it all mixed up. And I'm just gonna turn it off. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to pour this in this Pyrex cup. And what we're gonna do now is reserve 1 cup of this sauce. So I'm gonna take my measuring cup for the end of the recipe. So I'm gonna sit that right there, bring my other bowl over here, and we're just gonna pour this in here. And I'm going to reserve this for the end of the recipe, all right? I'll be right back. All right, so now our last 15 minutes are up, so take a look at what we have here, guys. Like I say, they're pretty seared, that's it. They're not cooked all the way through, so that's why we're going to take them from here and add them to our crock pot. So let's go ahead and continue with this recipe. All right, so I have my crock pot here. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna spray it with some of that cooking spray. All right, and the next thing we're gonna do is just line the bottom of this up with some of our wing sauce. Just a thin layer. You don't wanna put too much on there. Just have it at the bottom, kind of move it around. Now, of course, we're gonna start adding our ribs into here, and you can place them in here, however you like, it doesn't matter. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're going to start pouring the rest of our sauce over the wings. And I'm gonna hold it right there, and I'm gonna see if I can move these bad babies around just a little bit to make sure that they all get a little sauce on it. We don't want none of these ribs to get jealous and talking about, oh man, you ain't giving me enough sauce like you did the other one. So we're gonna move them around a little bit. We don't want nobody to get jealous. All right, I'm gonna do it one more time. Kind of move it around. And now I'm just gonna put the rest of it over here like this. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover this bad baby up. And we're gonna set our timer. You could cook it on high for 4 to 5 hours, or you can cook it on low for 7 to 9 hours. I'm gonna cook it on low for 7 hours. I don't think I'm gonna need to go 9 hours. Now, if you are like going to work or something, you know you're gonna be going long for, around 9 hours, of course, put it in there for 9 hours. Nothing's gonna happen to it. Slow cooking it, so you can put it in there for 9 hours, but I don't think I'm gonna need to do it for 9 hours. So I'm gonna put mine for 7 hours. All right, guys, I'll see you in 7 hours. All right, so it's been 3 hours. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just going to take some of this sauce and I'm gonna baste the top layer of the wings. Also, I'm gonna try to move them around as much as possible. And I'm gonna cover it up and we're gonna allow it to finish cooking for the remaining of the time. All right, so now it's been 6.5 hours and I did let mine cook for 7 hours, guys. It was ready at 6, so we're going to eat them just like this. They are done. Let's take a look at them. Looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and get these placed on a rack and I'll be right back. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take that reserve sauce and we're just going to start brushing the ribs with this sauce. And once you do that, we're gonna put it on a plate and I'll be right back. And there you have it, guys. Honey buffalo ribs in the slow cooker. Guys, this is a delicious recipe. Probably a little bit late for Super Bowl. Not probably a little bit late, it is late for Super Bowl. But guys, you definitely want to try this out. All the measurements and the ingredients in the video description below. Check it out. And before I get out of here, you already know I'm going to do a taste test. So let's go ahead and get to it. Now, as you can see, I don't know what I did with my audio. Thought I was recording it with the audio, and obviously I wasn't. But I wanted you guys to see me taste it. So we're going to do this voiceover while I taste this here on camera. Take a look at that. Looks delicious. Can't you tell the way I'm biting into it that I love it? Guys, these are fall off the bone ribs. You are going to love them. Trust me. And until then, I'm your cook, Spinelli, all wings, everything, and I am out. Peace.